Hey guys, I'm Austin.
I'm Anson.
And we just want to talk. So we had a guest lined up for today, but, well...
Yeah, he forgot about a wedding he had to go to in which he played a vital role as...
He was the groom.
That's
so,
correct.
Yeah. So we moved on. We decided, let's talk about Pixar, because that's what all men do when things go apart.
Yeah.
So let's get to it, man. Alright, favorite Pixar film?
Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2?
Without a doubt, yeah.
Okay.
I love the question that film raises, which is like, what is the selfish or non-selfish thing to do in a situation where he's essentially betraying one faction or the other, if you want to call them factions. We've got Andy's room and like the whatever Andy's last name family is, and then you got these toys who essentially their whole purpose is lined up in the fate of his decision. You know what I mean?
That's
just
true.
like
I never really thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's just such an interesting.
I mean, Woody's definitely the central character, but he influenced everybody in that movie.
Yeah,
even fat old Al.
I forgot about Newman. Yeah, that's Newman from Seinfeld.
Yeah, that was
dude, he's fantastic. Yeah, the even the villain like Lotso, he was a good villain in Toy Story 3, but he was so villainous. I mean, that's part of the fun, obviously, because he's a southern pink teddy bear.
Right.
But I mean, Stinky Pete. It's funny talking about these names seriously.
Stinky Pete, man.
Stinky Pete was an understandable villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had this guy who essentially. This toy, Kelsey Grammer, who wanted to just go to Japan and be on display for children to look at.
Right.
But he can't do that if this toy, and this toy, he's essentially a realist. And you've got Woody, who's just living in the moment. He doesn't want to think about, essentially, the toy retirement plan.
Yeah.
Of like what they're going to do after Andy grows up, and this Stinky Pete guy's just ahead of the curve. So, I mean, that's why it's my favorite.
Okay.
And I watched it. There's a period of time where I would watch any movie on my little, I think it was an iPod 3. The screen was, big. And Toy Story 2 was a movie I'd watch every single night for a month.
Nice.
Yeah, Narnia was another one, but that hasn't held up as well.
The thing I love about the Toy Story movies, but a lot of Pixar movies in general, like Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., is they have a good ending at the end, but they always push it to something better like 3 or 4 times. Like Toy Story 2. They were in the plane, they're about to hop out, but like, nope, we're going to close the plane up, and we're going to make them jump out while it's taking off, like stuff like that. It's just pushing it further and further to the point, like, how climactic can this get then?
Yeah.
Toy Story 3, you thought they're going to die? I cried. No, I didn't cry.
And it's still, honestly, even like rewatching it, it kind of emotionally affects you, even though
it's epic.
And you don't even think when they're in that situation that they're going to die, but you do. Like, you can't get to that part of your brain.
And then the claw comes out, and it's amazing.
It's like you're so emotionally invested, you can't reach that part of your brain that says this is a kid's movie. It's not Game of Thrones. They're not all going to be roasted.
They can't get incinerated, but in the moment you're thinking, I think they might. I think they might get roasted.
And I think on the topic of Game of Thrones, Toy Story's probably killed more characters than Game of Thrones last season.
They've killed?
Yeah, probably. Or disfigured.
Well, Sid was the worst villain than anyone in the last season of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, agreed. He was probably direct inspiration for Ramsay Bolton.
A misunderstood guy, Sid, I mean, he's just a guy who wants to create his own toys, and they terrify him for life. He's probably in a mental hospital now, if that was real life. Anyway.
I would love a cameo from him in Toy Story 4. But that's why Toy Story 2 is my favorite Pixar film. Do you have a runner-up?
A runner-up? Well, my personal favorite that I can just watch all the time is The Incredibles. I love The Incredibles, but I acknowledge it's probably not the best film, but I'll come back to that. Dude, just the family aspect, the music, I've listened to that soundtrack more than any other soundtrack, probably.
Really?
Just the jazz, the going, and to me it just ties it all together. You got Bob, who wants to relive his glory days while the kids are up and coming.
It's really an adult story.
It is. It's intense. I mean, it starts off with a guy that's committing suicide, then sues Bob.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a Pixar film? I think
the guy gets sucked into a jet engine, which almost happened to you, but that's not something we're going to get into in this podcast.
Well, we just did, but anyway.
Right, it's a little too close to home watching it now.
Yeah, okay, maybe that should be my favorite movie.
Honestly, my runner-up is probably Bug's Life. I want to say, I think it is, because it's such a small scale, I mean literally because it's ants, but it's just, it really rides this line of small scale and epic scale. I mean, this is a movie about ants, for Christ's sake, but it's a movie about ants going to war with grasshoppers.
Right.
I mean, it's just
something so simple that they just completely succeed.
And it's just something about. I mean, I think it's the animated digital camera work, but like just the scale of everything, because they're ants. That's what makes it feel bigger.
It's one of the most clever movies for sure. The jokes they had. You remember where the two fireflies were going towards the light?
Oh yeah, of course.
Harry, don't go towards the light.
Yeah.
I can't help it. But just little stuff like that you wouldn't think of are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Man, runner up for me, I'm gonna say, for sheer beauty, WALL-E. You seen WALL-E, right?
Of course.
Man, it was fantastic. It's a movie when I first saw it as a kid. I don't feel like I fully appreciated it in theaters.
I didn't. No, not at all.
That's kind of boring. I don't know, but rewatching it again as I got older, I'm like, this is a fantastic science fiction movie. You take off and just watching the stars and seeing where humanity went and then coming back, it's really, really well done. It was more about the emotion than the story. But I know it's not really your favorite film. I can tell you're clocking out.
Yeah, the thing is it has been a while. I mean, like a really long while. Like, it honestly could have been a decade since I saw that movie, which would have made me about 9 or 10. But, I mean, from what I remember, it was really kind of like, looking at it with modern eyes, it's like a small art house film. Like, it's so much more of its visual.
They made a lot of 2001 connections.
Yeah, I actually remember that with
the Howl robot and the music itself. I think they had one where the fat guy was standing up and it had the 2001 music. Da, da, da.
Okay.
But yeah, that's not why.
That's definitely one I need to go back.
I'd rewatch it
for sure.
It's something you really appreciate more.
You don't really understand pollution as a kid too. You don't really.
Yeah, it's like, what, we're destroying the environment. So what, man? I don't get what's going on here.
It's like, how did we get there now? It's like, okay, I can see.
It's probably the best adult Pixar film. Maybe.
I would say almost. I mean, I guess even though the Superbad, I'd say Incredibles is definitely their most adult. Like, in terms of like the themes of. I mean, it's a movie. It's a children's movie about a midlife crisis. It's basically like the family-friendly version of. Speaking of Kevin Spacey, A Beautiful Mind. Is that it? What was that movie called?
American Beauty.
American Beauty.
Yeah.
It's like a kid's version. It's like if you took the superhero genre and you put it in a kid's film with American Beauty. That's
true.
Yeah.
And Kevin Spacey did such a good job as a villain in that movie. I mean, where did he tap into that weird?
Oh, in Bugs Life. I know. Yeah, he seems like a pretty nice guy.
I know.
Why he would
a really nice guy in real life. Yeah.
Be able to just sort of
weird
tap into this monster that just preys on the innocent. Like,
the praise of the little people. I don't get it, but anyway,
those ants. Yeah. Where do you think he does get it from?
I don't know.
That's a good spot to end this segment on. Catch you in part 2.